Celebrities. They aren't as innocent as they seem to be. Today we're going to uncover many dark secrets that somehow made it to the surface of the internet. Welcome back to another video. I have gone down a dark rabbit hole of videos and have gathered them here for us to watch together. Make sure you stick to the end because it gets wild.
Dude, I don't know if you've heard about this story yet or not, but this is actually insane. Scientists have officially tested 85 different sharks from the Bahamas, and a third of them just came back and they tested positive for drugs.
So sharks in the Bahamas have tested positive for caffeine, painkillers, and even cocaine.
So this team of researchers just pulled blood from 85 different sharks off a remote island in the Bahamas, and they tested them for nearly 24 different substances. And again, a third of them just came back positive. They're saying that this not only includes caffeine, but also painkillers and anti-inflammatory medicine. And one of the baby lemon sharks actually tested positive for an illegal substance that's linked to drug trafficking in the Caribbean. So how did it get it? Scientists are saying that most of it is coming from tourists, people swimming in the water, dumping sewage, and flushing medicines that end up in the ocean. And this is the part that actually matters, because the sharks that tested positive showed signs of metabolic stress because their blood chemistry is off. Researchers right now still do not know the full long-term effects yet, but studies in other fish show stimulants can change how they feed, move, and respond to danger. This was supposed to be one of the most untouched places on Earth, and obviously it's not.
It's moving! It's moving! Keep moving! It's scary! Back! You see that? What the hell?
I told y'all once, I'm gonna tell you again. They made AI so we don't know what's real. Y'all remember that girl, Ashley Inc? She has a channel on here and like all socials. She tells scary stories of her followers, like anonymously. I already have told this story before, but it always resonated with me. Honestly, there's just creators all over talking about this stuff from anonymous followers. It's always someone that's in the freaking Navy that have seen something, but they don't want to say it out loud because they're scared for their life because they signed NDAs and stuff. Ashley Inc. told the story of a guy that went on like an illegal mission, not mission, but like an illegal job, hunting big fish, but it was actually sirens. And then they took them to these laboratories if they were injured, where he saw like sea creatures that he couldn't even explain with words. I totally believe that because hello, look how much of the ocean has not been discovered. And they literally heard a like deafening sound at the bottom of the Mariana Trench. There's also metal clanging that they've picked up at the bottom of the ocean. What? Okay, we got that. Then we got Jay Lee, another creator, talking about how the elites are actually consuming mermaids. Like, hello, it's like a whole thing in Japanese folklore called the ningyo. Japanese sirens are ningyos, and they're often found a lot in the Dragon's Triangle, that like triangle between Japan, Philippines, and Guam, where so many ships have gone missing. So much supernatural stuff has happened. Sirens have been consistently seen there for centuries. And if you consume the flesh of a ningyo, you get immortality. And what are the elites always looking for? The fountain of youth, immortality. So I genuinely would not put it past them to be finding them and consuming them. I mean, in the Victorian era, the elites and the rich people, the aristocrats, they were eating mummies. They had mummy eating parties where they'd unwrap them, use the dust for everything, and just like eat the mummies. So I'm pretty sure if they found some sirens, they would wonder if it tastes like chicken. They literally had mermaids on tuna cans. So I don't understand. Okay, I don't know why this is such a far off thought. I would not be surprised if what you just saw, yes, I know that was AI. I wouldn't be surprised if what you just saw, like there are actual real videos that look just like that are actually real but are labeled AI content. I already know most of the people that haven't made it to this part of the video are gonna be like, that's literally AI. So the people that actually watch the video, when you go in the comments, call them out. Be like, girl, watch the whole video before you talk, please. Anyway, as always, make sure y'all like and follow. Comment down.
Brewski said Erica Kirk sent a cease and desist letter trying to sue him over this new skit. Little does she know it's a parody and it's protected. It's comedy is what he said. The fact that you get so mad over a joke in a skit that is literally just to make a parody, you're going to try to sue somebody is insane. And Drewski is known for making skits of everybody. He did Miss Rachel, he did Your Average American, and now they're mad because he mocked Christianity, is what they're saying. But really, I think he meant just all jokes and it was all fun to make people laugh. But the fact that you're actually going to try to sue Drewski, I mean, literally, Miss Rachel tried to sue Drewski, and it pretty much ended not well because it's a parody, falls under, it's not really valid. Now, if Drewski was actually trying to make something legit about Erica Kirk, it would be a different story, but he was just trying to get laughs and make jokes. So apparently, we're not allowed to make jokes anymore, otherwise it'll take you to court, is pretty much what Drewski said. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you think about this? Do you think Drewski deserves to be sued for making this skit, or do you think he's innocent? Let me know in the comments down below.
All the photos that I've seen from Epstein's properties, this has to be one of the eeriest. So there's the EFTA number if you want to verify this yourself. But I believe this photo was taken in Epstein's Palm Beach mansion. And as you can see, it appears to show an investigator with a glove on looking through, I don't know if this is a filing cabinet or what, but then we have to zoom in. And this is where we have some strange information. So looking at these folders, I mean, they just look eerie because of this purple. These are folders that Epstein had in his filing cabinet or whatever this was. Now, excuse me if I can't really read this. I don't know what that says up top. Does that say Pinto? Then you've got pilots. And I have no idea what that one after that says. Maybe phone, something. Here we got pedons, which I tried to look for pedon anything and nothing came up. You've got Sherry, who is a name that is referenced in the files. And I don't know who this Sherry is. It could be referring to Sherry Blair, the wife of former UK Prime Minister Tony Blair, who's named in the Epstein files. But I just don't know. And then, obviously, here we have massages. This seems to be a whole folder dedicated to massages, and I believe the massage artists. At least that's what Epstein called them. I mean, they were, in reality, survivors, victims who were being raped, trafficked, and molested. And if you don't know, Epstein would get these victims in and kind of lure them in by having them perform massages. And that's what would kick this whole thing off. There are also a few more folders. There's maintenance, and then, once again, I can't make out what that one says. And I also couldn't make out any of these because it's just too grainy, too blurry. If you guys can see anything, let me know though. But to my knowledge, we haven't seen what's in these folders. We don't know what was found in these folders. We don't know what documents were kept in here. I mean, if there was going to be an Epstein list, which I've been saying for months, years now, there's not going to be an Epstein list. But in my opinion, it would be in a folder that looks like this. I mean, inside of this folder, there could have been information about victims where Epstein seemingly would have been confirming victims' identities himself. There could have been information on massages that were given to people. There could have been information on his clients. There could have been information on the gifts that he gave to his victims and to the survivors. I mean, this would have been a personal folder and inventory of, Epstein's victimization. But we just don't know what was found in this. And, I mean, yeah, this is just one photo in millions of photos and millions of files. And this is also just one little filing cabinet out of, I'm sure, thousands upon thousands that Epstein had. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section. If you can make out any of the other words, please let me know. But this is just yet another failure by the FBI and DOJ to give us transparency.
Job is paying $1.2 million per year, but still nobody to do it. We got a nice picture of a lighthouse getting absolutely obliterated by the sea. And then we got this hard shot for some reason. This looks like an album cover. They're trying to show us how dangerous the job could be. They're just making this guy look super cool. They're just showing us this guy's aura. I like how it says sleep when you want. Fish off the coast. You quite literally can't fish anywhere else besides off the coast. What do you mean? Soak in jaw-dropping ocean views every day. I feel like soak in, that's a little disrespectful. Now you're just testing them. What do they do to you? I don't believe they can't find anyone to do this job. No, I don't believe you. There has to be at least one person going through a breakup or divorce. And they're just like, oh, I'm down. I'm at the lowest point in life right now, and I get paid $1 million. Whatever. Listen, if I had good Wi-Fi, a good TV, comfortable bed, why not? Food, water, I don't really care. $1 million? What's the catch? There has to be a catch. I looked it up and they just said it's because you're by yourself. Listen, that ship has sailed. Quite literally. So I'm surprised there's not a wait list to get this job, if we're being honest. What do you mean you can't find anyone to do this? I don't believe you.
Do you know that Disney built this hotel that was so expensive that it went from an overhyped sensation to totally shut down in just 18 months? Welcome to Secrets of the Kingdom, where we uncover Disney's lore, forgotten history, and crazy urban legends. Today we're going to be unpacking the rise and fall of the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel. This place was completely unique from any other hotel that you could stay at on Disney property. It was basically a $350 million immersion experiment. So instead of just a guest checking into a regular room, you were basically boarding the Halcyon for a 2-night role-playing adventure. Disney promised you a window into space, as you can see here, lightsaber training, and a story that would change based on your personal choices. As cool as this concept was, and as immersive as the rooms were, this came with one heck of a price tag. A stay for a family of 4 started at, ready? $6,000. Yes, that is right. $6,000. And for that price, guests expected a 5-star luxury resort experience, as they should. But instead, they got tiny rooms that had no windows and a schedule that was so packed tight that it felt more like a space summer camp than it did like a Disney vacation. A lot of hardcore Star Wars fans really loved this experience, but most of the general public just couldn't justify the hefty price tag that went along with it. And by early 2023, this hotel was frequently at half capacity. And in a move that absolutely shocked the industry, Disney announced that they were going to be closing this hotel for good in September of 2023. Today, the Star Cruiser is being transformed into office space for Disney Imagineering, but it serves as a costly reminder of an idea too immersive for its price. Did you ever check out the inside of this hotel during its short-lived stint? If so, we would love to hear your story in the comments. And if you haven't already, be sure to hit that follow because we have a bunch more Disney history, lore, and nostalgia coming your way.
Y'all, this lady literally recorded a timeline slip. If you haven't seen the video, she was recording because she caught a glitch. She went to go put her makeup on, and the applicator for her concealer was in her concealer. Obviously, that sounds normal, but she was talking about how that applicator had broke, and she had been using Q-tips because it was snapped in half. But for some reason, it was perfectly fine and intact in her concealer. But that's not the weird part. Do you see the video behind me? As she's talking about this glitch that she found, her camera starts going nuts while she's recording the object.
I broke this. I am getting so, I'm getting really, like my heart is racing. And why is my phone doing that? Why is my phone doing that?
Her phone starts picking up some major interference, and you can even hear it in the video while she's recording this glitched out object. I fully believe that she captured like a timeline skip in this video because she is recording this glitched out object. But what do you guys think? If you want to see the full video, you can go watch it on our page. And don't forget to like and follow.
Did you know every single photo of Earth in space is CGI?
Really? I didn't know that.
They don't have a camera big enough to shoot that. Go search up a picture of the Earth from space. None of those pictures are legit photos. Because they have to dead ass like computer generate it so that it can fit properly.
They don't have 0.5.
It's too big. It's too big. Like you dead ass just can't take a pic of it.
0.5 wouldn't work.
No, but I feel like if they're far enough, they'll be able to, take that picture.
That doesn't look.
That does not look real.
Yo, none of those pictures
that does not look
of
real.
Earth online are real. They're all CGI, fam.
But you're talking about like the whole Earth in one image, like the whole surface.
Look at all this. You think this is real? Come on, bro.
Okay, obviously not. That one's
like
fake.
all of these are fake. Look.
That one's fake. They could be like real pictures, but they enhance it.
I haven't seen very many people reference this photo of Donald Trump that was found in the Epstein files, and it's really strange. So there's the number down there if you want to look this file up. But as you can see, this clearly is a photo of Donald Trump with a woman whose identity has been redacted. Now, I don't know who this woman is, and we technically don't know where this photo was taken, but I'm assuming that this was taken on Epstein's airplane, the Lolita Express, or another airplane that Epstein may have been on or been renting or whatever, you know what I'm trying to say. It's strange though, because I feel like I've done so many videos on Trump and Epstein, I've looked up pictures of Trump and Epstein so many times, but truly, I had not seen this picture until the other day when I was going through some of the old files that had been released months ago to try and compare to some of the stuff that we've seen recently. But maybe I'm just really in the dark on this. Let me know, have you seen them identify who this girl is? And why do you think that nobody's talking about this image? Because to me, if this is what it looks like, this is an image of Donald Trump, the president of the United States, on Jeffrey Epstein's airplane with a woman whose identity has been redacted who might be one of Epstein's victims/survivors. I don't know. Why don't you guys let me know, because I have so many questions.
Really quick, sorry to pause the video. If you're still watching, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. That was it. Let's get back into it.
I'm trying to listen. Do you hear that? Listen to their echolocation. I'm trying to tell y'all, the ocean is otherworldly. Dolphins have way more going on than meets the eye. We have already discussed how they were literally used in the Vietnam War to sniff out bombs. Also, side note, did you guys know that there are like millions of undetonated bombs at the bottom of the ocean that could detonate at any moment? I just felt like I should tell you that. Anyway, so they were used for that. They were also used for arresting people. The dolphins would follow Navy ships and be trained by the US government to arrest unauthorized divers. And according to the NOAA, you are not supposed to speak to dolphins in their natural habitat, only in captivity. Yes, people are like, well, it's not illegal to talk to dolphins. Okay, yeah, it's not illegal, but it's prohibited. Why? You can say it's to protect them, but they could just leave it open-ended with don't feed them, don't touch them, period. Like they do with every other marine animal. Y'all already know that these dolphin-assisted births were happening. I think his name was Igor Tchaikovsky or something. I don't know. Igor. I know his first name was Igor. He was doing dolphin-assisted births. They came and told him it was unsafe. These women were literally being surrounded. And that sound y'all heard in that first clip, they were surrounded by dolphins making that sound using their sonar, and they were able to give birth in 20 minutes painlessly. And that's what started the whole study about how women are not supposed to actually like go through what they go through in labor right now. Like I'm not saying it's supposed to be completely painless, right? But it's levels to it, bro. So now listen up. It is mad dolphins washing up on beaches. And what kind of dolphin? Bottlenose dolphins. Bottlenose dolphins have had so many different encounters with like different types of crazy things that have happened, especially the most recent case of that Florida man getting kidnapped by bottlenose dolphins. I say kidnapped, TikToks for entertainment purposes only, by bottlenose dolphins to go and build things under the ocean. And apparently Gerald the dolphin handled him breathing underwater. This man literally had like markings on his hand that directly matched deep sea coral, and it looked like he was like holding it like a construction worker holds hammer. Like it was like deep into his skin. When this man literally was working, he had like marine particles and water in his lungs. He was completely sober-minded. He passed a psychological test. Like this man was not crazy. He was not on a substance. And now you're telling me, mind you, after this happened, everyone's like, oh, it's a hoax, it's a hoax. The news people even came up here talking about, oh, it's a hoax. As soon as the news tells me it's a hoax, I know it's not. Because why in the world did y'all take helicopters out there and there's footage of that, of y'all looking around, what are you looking for Gerald? And Gerald means keeper of spears. I think that's what his name means. I know this sounds insane, y'all, but now all of a sudden bottlenose dolphins are just washing up. That doesn't just happen. Someone is doing something to them. Why would you do something to them if there's nothing to find out? If this is fake, a conspiracy, I don't know. Y'all tell me in the comments. Don't forget to
3 mermaids were observed breaching the surface at approximately 6:40 a.m. at the coastal bluffs of Point Reyes National Seashore, California. The species had not been documented in this location since 1987. The marine biologist who took this footage spoke to me off the record and said that it is a lifelong dream of his to eat mermaids someday because of the health properties from eating the flesh. Consumption is reported to provide extended lifespan and accelerated cellular regeneration. Hunting the mermaid is not currently authorized.
This man knows the truth about funeral homes. That's why he destroyed this casket. People are wondering why he's doing this. But some funeral homes reuse the casket they bury people in. And he knows this.
Is that a thing? Do they reuse your casket?
Stay weird.
2027 could be the hottest year in Earth's history. So El Nino is a climate cycle where surface waters in the equatorial Pacific become warmer than normal, which release stored ocean heat into the atmosphere. So it's basically like a big ocean hot fart.
Got it.
And it releases the heat from deep, like hundreds of years worth of hotness. They're saying that this year is going to produce a super El Nino, and those happen not so often.
The Grande El Nino.
Basically makes the whole earth crazy hot. They're saying the implications of it, 2027 could be one of the hottest years in Earth's history.
2027 is going to be on fire. What are we going to do about that?
I don't know.
It's already hot.
Didn't we talk about in the prophecy of the popes? Wasn't 2027 the year?
Yeah, there's like a ton of like predictions, ancient predictions that go to the year 2027.
People are always saying El Nino, El Nino.
I remember the TikTok trend.
My dad even said it the other day. I'm like, I don't know what that means.
Dad, speak English.
All right, guys, Jeffrey Epstein is not dead, and I'm going to prove that to you. About a week ago, this video got posted online of someone who looks to be Jeffrey Epstein in a car, to which this guy named Palm Beach Pete comes out and says, hey, I'm not Jeffrey Epstein. And it gets so much weirder because in a report to TMZ, Palm Beach Pete openly admits that he was at parties with Jeffrey Epstein in New York City. But now here's where things get really weird. Now, Palm Beach Pete is an internet sensation and has created his own Instagram. And then people started posting side-by-side comparisons of Jeffrey Epstein and Palm Beach Pete. And I'm sure it's just a coincidence they look the exact same with the same matching teeth. And we know that Epstein used to have a mansion at 358 Brillo Way, which was recently destroyed. But after seeing one of his first videos, I realized he's probably still in Palm Beach, but this time on the Atlantic side. Which made me begin to look through Epstein's emails. And Palm Beach was mentioned over 20,000 times, but then we refined our search to Ocean Boulevard, which is only mentioned 68 times. But there was only one address that stood out to me specifically, which is 3550 South Ocean Boulevard. Address what stood out to me was actually the property right next door to it, because if you look at the pool, it bears a striking resemblance to a video. And the video that stood out to me was Palm Beach Pete's first post on Instagram. If you look at the background, I highlighted some of the features that stood out. Along with these different highlighted details, I then realized that Palm Beach Pete is also filming a video next to an address that was mentioned in the Epstein files multiple times. Because once again, this is the background of Palm Beach Pete's video. And just oddly enough, this is what the pool at 3570 South Ocean Boulevard looks like. So maybe it's just odd to me that Palm Beach Pete is filming a video right next to the address that was mentioned multiple times in the Epstein files. But maybe he's also just Jeffrey Epstein.
Like, oh, look at that. That's a tsunami, right? That's a tsunami.
People are not scared enough of the ocean, and I'm here to fix that. I'm back with another episode of Why I Stay on Land, where I give you some self-inflicted thalassophobia right before bed. Let's get into some terrifying facts about tsunamis. 1958 in Lituya Bay, Alaska, a mega tsunami happened, and that mega tsunami had waves 1,720 feet tall. You heard me, 1,720 feet tall. You know that tsunamis are nearly invisible, like from the ocean, and then as soon as they get to the shore, they become like crippling waves. They're literally like 1 to 2 feet in the ocean. But as soon as you get towards civilians, you want to start acting crazy. It makes sense. Just make it make sense. I'm gonna clarify, that video in the beginning was AI. No, I don't make these AI videos, y'all. I literally just screen record them. So please, trust me, I'm not out here just like using up AI for no reason. I'm already using things that are already on the internet. I'm saying, they don't look like the movies. It's not just like some big tidal wave. No, it's like walls of waves that just get worse and worse. The first one is actually the weakest, and it just comes in stronger waves until like there's no way of escaping. The tsunami in, I believe it was Indonesia, took out 230,000 people. And you can look up real footage of that. It just kept getting worse. Tsunamis can literally travel across oceans, and then once they hit like actual cities, they toss around like the tallest building like a freaking toy. The mega tsunami tore trees, like I'm talking about age-old trees that had roots dug into the ground. Tore off trees like it was nothing, off mountains. Ocean is freaking wild, like it's freaking wild. Anyway, y'all, as always, make sure you like and follow. There's more facts, but make sure you let me know in the comments if you want a part 2. I'll do another one. That is exactly why I...
The woman you just saw in that video, Mexican influencer Esmeralda Ferrer Garibay, was found murdered wrapped in plastic in the back of a truck, along with her husband and 2 children in September of 2025. So Esmeralda at the time of her death was 32 years old. She was a fashion kind of blogger in Mexico, and on her accounts she posted lifestyle and travel content. Now, we still don't know exactly what happened to Esmeralda. I have seen people online theorizing that she messed with the cartel or was somehow involved in the cartel. I mean, the way that she and her entire family were murdered and basically left out to find definitely seems cartel-esque. But no suspects have been arrested. Nobody has been held accountable for this family's murder. And essentially, this all went like this. Esmeralda and her family went missing in mid-August. They lived in the Guadalajara, Mexico area. Then on August 22nd of 2025, 3 men discovered an abandoned vehicle near an auto shop in Guadalajara. And in the back of the pickup truck that was abandoned were the bodies of Esmeralda, her 36-year-old husband, and their 13 and 7-year-old children, all wrapped in plastic, all killed. So that's about it. That's all that I could find about this story. There are pictures online that you can find of the pickup that I didn't want to include here because they're super graphic. But I find this insane that this entire family was murdered, and there seems to be no movement in the case. There's no news article about this since this happened that I could find.
And it seems like these people who murdered this entire
All y'all saying that this is some random crackhead wandering around in the woods in the middle of the night, y'all are wrong. That ain't a human. There's actually 2 photos, not just this one. So this was taken by a game camera on a 4-wheeler trail out in the middle of nowhere outside of Berea, Kentucky. So apparently the owners of the property put up these game cameras because people were hunting on their property illegally. Or at least that's what they thought. They would go out on their 4-wheeler paths and trees would be broken. They'd find a bunch of trash and like ripped up clothes and stuff. So they put these cameras out. So this is the first photo taken at 2:47 a.m. You see what looks like a human figure walking up the trail. Now the people who own this trail camera said that whatever this is can't be a human, because if it was, it'd be at least 8 or 9 feet tall. And you know how trail cams work. They take photos every few seconds. This is the one right after the one that I just showed you. Arms are really skinny and disproportionate to the body. And whatever this thing is, it's not wearing clothes. And there's just nothing about this that looks like a human at all. What is it? I don't know. That's what's really concerning about this, because they found out that whatever this thing is was in their woods, in their wooded property, because they kept finding tattered clothes and random things like keychains and lanyards and stuff. So it really makes you wonder, like, what is this thing? Why is it collecting human clothing and people's belongings and stuff? Honestly, don't know what I would do in this situation. Finding out that something like this was on my property. I mean, what are you supposed to do? What would y'all do in this situation? And what do you think this is? Let me know. And don't forget to like and follow for more.
People are speculating that there could be a body inside of this Kick the Buddy altar or something of the sort. Let's get into it. So this whole situation is revolving around this Instagram account, One Runners Club. And as far as I'm aware, they have the same handle on every single other social media platform. I will warn you, however, if you go and check this out, there is some disturbing content, especially on the Twitter account. We're going to start here with this Reddit post. Essentially, this Reddit user lives in the LA area, and they kept seeing on Urbex platforms that there was a Kick the Buddy sacrifice/altar room somewhere around that they can explore. As they approached the altar, they immediately recognized a horrific rotting smell that was coming from it, and stated that there was like a real heavy kind of weight to the head that started the speculation that there might be something inside of the doll. And here we see this is by an artist named Elijah Walker. Using this name, we were able to find an interview conducted by a 15-year-old LA native on Elijah Walker. Now, we can get into the full interview in a different video, but he left the interview by saying, "If I go missing, keep my name alive." I'm thinking that there's a lot more to this, so expect a part 2 after we research it further, but I just want to show you this. Check out, this is the homepage for the interviewsillier.org, okay? And this is what appears to be Elijah Walker's homepage for his one.runclub.com. This is where he sells his bracelets. He's an artist. In my opinion, these appear to be made by the same person, which is leading me to a more of an ARG route. But guys, people in my Discord are the ones that actually informed me about this. So if you like internet mysteries, rabbit holes, things of the sort, come and join, link in the bio.
Kanye's new music video is demonic because it showcases a skin suit being removed and revealing an alien. And what's very interesting is right before the alien is revealed, there is a lyric that says, "Wake up to the new me," shortly before the alien is revealed underneath the Kanye suit. Now, is this truth in plain sight? Is there something more going on here? Because he also had the Michael Jackson impersonator in this music video. So is there somebody else impersonating Kanye? Something else very interesting is he showcases a black horse. You know, the 4 horsemen and the black horse, what it represents. So again, this is truth in plain sight yet again. And this music video is very demonic in my honest opinion, because he is pushing the alien stuff just like everybody else. Again, this video is for entertainment purposes only. I'm just pointing out certain things in Kanye's latest music video. Father, what do you think?
Mama. Yeah. Mama.
I'm about to explain to y'all exactly why I believe that man that said the bottlenose dolphin stole him and made him go to the bottom of the ocean and make condos. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm gonna tell y'all exactly why I believe him. It's crazy that in 2026, we believe a story like this. I'll probably be like, who's we? I don't believe, listen, I do, and I'm gonna tell you why. So, did y'all know? First of all, Dolphins are insanely smart. And I know you've heard that before, but let me explain it. A long time ago, there was something called dolphin assisted births, right? Basically, where dolphins would sense a pregnant woman and come up to her. And the man that studied this, I think his name was Igor Tchaikovsky or something like that. So basically, all the dolphins would start circling this pregnant woman and use their sonar to essentially be able to allow her to give birth in a matter of 20 minutes painlessly. And that could sound like a freaking fairy tale to you, fine. But did y'all know that in the Vietnam War, dolphins were trained to sniff out bombs in the ocean? And the US government literally uses dolphins to arrest people. They'll have dolphins follow Navy ships, and when they see like divers that are unauthorized in the area, they clamp this device that explodes and then cuffs them. Dolphins are just these, just creatures in the ocean, whatever. Then why did NASA have a whole entire study trying to teach dolphins to talk? In which case, a dolphin actually fell in love with a trainer. Sorry, y'all, I'm taking care of my daughter. But a dolphin actually fell in love with a trainer because she literally yanked him off from time to time. Like, he grew an attachment to her. And when she finally left, he went to the bottom of his captivity, opened his blowhole, and unalived himself. I just want to know why she was yanking off a dolphin. And I just want to know, did she go to jail? Because Peter, the dolphin's name was Peter. Peter was a victim. Anyway, y'all. Those dolphins took that man. I'm telling y'all right now. The ocean is otherworldly. You can't just say something isn't real. You can't. Because we don't know what's there. I don't know. As always, make sure you guys like and follow. Comment down below what you think.